presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. What really sets Quail Hollow apart here at the Wells Fargo Championship, the brutal finishing stretch. They call it the Green Mile, and we are excited to bring you all of the tournament action. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novello. So the action is underway, and we'll take you out now to our featured golfer here at number 1. Stepping up to the first tee, sight set on posting another low number here in round 2. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie.
A little bit more hope than determination in that putt.
Getting set now over the putt. A good effort, a good par putt. Frank, a nice mix of opening holes here at Quail Hollow in the Wells Fargo Championship. Pretty short par 3 here at the second.
180-yard shot will play more like 175 for the half a club downhill. There's much more green on that right side. If you're not too sure what club to hit, then you should stay away from that left side.
Excellent shot to within 10 feet. Shouldn't be a problem here.
Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance. This is a strong par 4, 452 yards, the third hole. It's a good challenge, Frank.
It is. Big sweeping dogleg left. Actually in a straight line, it's 315, 320 yards to run out. So if you hit the ball further than that, it's going to have to draw. Otherwise, you'll be hitting in the rough on the other side. Still a lengthy shot into there on a green that actually has 3 different levels. There's something about a well-hit shot.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Now to the fourth hole here at Quail Hollow, just under 490 yards.
Yeah, they used to have the tee on the right side, which actually made that tee shot very uncomfortable. When they put the new tee box in on the left side, it's a little easier to hit that fairway because that fairway slopes from right to left. Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power, though? Huge with a capital H.
Moved it a long ways. That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
Frank, in today's modern game where players are hitting it so far, I always feel like one of the more exciting holes is a reachable par 5, and here we are at the fifth, 570 yards.
Yeah, this is reachable providing you hit a good drive. Otherwise, it becomes very awkward on the layup. Sort of often threading the ball out of trees and just trying to find some sort of third shot. So to your point, big advantage with a good tee shot here.
Good contact, good result. You can play it from there, 300 yards away and in the fairway. Frank, Rory McIlroy had his coming out party on the PGA Tour right here at Quail Hollow. That was in 2010. You remember that final round 62?
We certainly do, Rich. That great finish to post 62. Personally, I thought that was the best round shot in 2010. And not just because it was his first win, but it showed you what he was capable of. And then obviously we've got to see that ever since. In the direction of the sand.
It looks like it. He just missed the bunker. What an opportunity. A putt for eagle.
Oh, now that is going to hurt.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Those are painful from that distance.
Yeah, just another one added to the card. Big mistake.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round.
No, really, Rich, right now it's just a case of running out of holes. Pars are fine.
Now set to tee off at the 6th. It is a long par 3, 250 yards.
We could take a little bit off for the downhill, but whichever way you look at it, it's still going to be a beefy par 3. Protected on the left by that front bunker, and if you sort of scoot one long, there's another bunker over there as well.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I'd say.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5/7.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the seagulls are walking to work.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich, I'll tell you, this eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
We just saw a player in total control of what he's doing. Didn't miss a green in regulation all day long. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh, yes, that's an eagle. Frank, in modern professional golf, we're seeing more and more drivable par 4s, like the 8th here at Quail Hollow, 350 yards. What do you think of this hole?
It's not a bad hole. Drivable, some might say, but the angle of the green means it's hard for that tee shot to keep on the green. But I think the reward for hitting a driver is try and sort of aim at that tree just left of the green. And the reason why is then you've got to pitch up the direction of the green. This is a really narrow green.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Second shot, good look at the green. No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp. And the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But you can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
That's in the fairway. Frank, what's ahead now on this approach shot at the long par 4 ninth?
Well, what's in favour for the player, Rich, is the fact that both the left and the right side of the green slope back towards the middle. So you can almost use them like sideboards. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Sometimes you get breaks, and he got one right there.
Yeah, I guess the bunker was a little smaller than I thought it was. It looked doomed for that.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself that it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Frank, this really is a remarkable turn of events, considering that earlier we had pretty much written him off.
Well, we had, and for good reason, too. Was not playing well. It looked like the round was going to continue to go in that direction. But somehow, and believe me, I don't know how, he's just completely turned this round around.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Down to the par 4 11. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's an interesting hole, Rich, and I'm curious to see how aggressive players will play here today. The easy way, obviously, is just hit it down the right side and set up a nice second shot with a short iron. Or the most fun way is to take the big stick out and try and bite off as much of that corner as you choose. But be prepared to pay the price should it not come off.
315. Staring at the approach now at the par 4 11th. Should be pretty good right there on the safe side. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Trying to get out of here with just one dropped shot. This is for bogey.
In this situation, Richard, bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favour a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players. And plus it's yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, we always say about Quail Hollow, you have to play with a clear head. You have to be thinking your way around this golf course. So what's the right thought process on this second shot?
Keep the ball in the right section. That front portion there, you can't afford to go long when the flag's there. Conversely, when the flag's in the back, you can't afford to be putting up and over that ridge. So you've got to be flying that ball all the way back there.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Now the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Here we go. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Score that a birdie. Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong 3-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards is the ball kicks down and towards the left, and it sounds like an aggressive play, but like a hard 3-wood trying to run it down there is actually not a bad play.
Is it drivable?
It is drivable, but it's whether it's worth the risk.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Now teed up at the 15th hole. It is the final par 5 here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. And Frank, I remember this hole well. McIlroy stiffed a 5-iron on his way to making eagle, his first PGA Tour win. That came back in 2010.
And the opportunity exists again here. Under 600 yards, plays downhill off the tee. Those two bunkers on the right are perfectly situated. That second one about 310 yards to it. So something straight at that one with a little draw will set up that mid-iron or long iron that has to be hit very high and uphill.
To the 15th green, but looking at a tough putt, considerably long, over 25 feet away. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That's good work right there. Just a tap in. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. continues to putt beautifully. This is the start of what some say is the toughest finishing stretch on the PGA Tour. It's known as the Green Mile. Frank, what makes it so challenging?
Well, this hole in particular, Rich, the dogleg right, it means it plays every inch of it's just over 500 yards. That bunker you can see down the right, 325 yards to carry that. If you can fly the ball that far, at least you can chew off 2/3 of this hole, and that is well required here. Otherwise, it's a long, long second shot.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. 18-footer. Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has, it plays a little bit downhill. But when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right club.
Frank, I think that's going to the bunker.
Looks like it.
You got away with one right there. Just missed that bunker.
Yeah, that looked like it was sand the whole way.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
This one's tracking. Well, hello there.
Huge bonus making that
one. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, he's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. He makes a great pass at the golf. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, that is a ball-striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday and trying for another one today.
You'd like that one again. Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Got it for par.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament.